Ya estoy grabando. Ok. I'm going to share my screen for the presentation of the evidence too. Hello, my name is Diego Hernandez Auri, and I'm going to talk about communicating climate change. First of all, what is climate change? It describes a change in the average weather conditions, such as temperature and rainfall in a region over a period of time. How does CO2 emissions contribute to climate change? It causes global warming by absorbing and emitting radiation, pollutes the air, makes it warm, and that way changes the weather in a region. Calculations of the amount of emissions done by one person in a year. After checking the approximation of CO2 gases emissions by an average person in 1 year, we can clearly see an opportunity to reduce significantly the emissions that causes climate change by using less electric devices and maybe have another alternative way of transport, such as using the bus instead of the car for going to the market, or sharing a vehicle in general with someone, so you don't use many cars. What are the consequences for animals? Climate change reduces the habitats of the animals, pushing them to live in smaller areas and to reduce their population. We can clearly see this in a sad example with polar bears, which because of the global warming, their habitat is being reduced and they are not having the best conditions to live and for the species to continue. And well, now what are the consequences for humans? Well, it increases the risk of different illness due to the temperature, frequent storms, the pollution in there, and it also hardens our condition for living in general, such as our habitat, because our architecture, our buildings in one region, they may not be prepared for the floods we're having now, or for the heavy rains we're having now. So yeah, that's a problem that affects us a lot. So well, how can we hope to mitigate the climate change? I feel that by checking our annual CO2 emissions and making a change in our daily basis for a significant reduction and having a better efficiency of the available resources, we can really make a change and make it better for the planet. Just as I mentioned before, sharing the car with someone, walking, using the bicycle, another kind of transport that doesn't pollute too much CO2, and yeah, being efficient with the electric devices. Now, what are the Sustainable Development Goals? Also known as the Global Goals, they are a plan implemented in 2015 by the United Nations as a way to ensure a better planet for the year 2030 with diverse actions. There are 17 total. Well, I will gonna talk about 3 in this presentation, which are, first of all, the number 11, sustainable cities and communities. This action involves investment in public transport, green spaces, and urban planning for the cities and communities around the world. Number 12, responsible consumption and productions. This action surges after the need of reducing our CO2 emissions footprint and decelerate the production and waste of resources and only produce what we really need to consume to be more efficient. And number 13, climate action. This action involves a sustainable natural resources management to stop the devastating use of them that hardens the future of new generations. Nowadays, we are producing more than we can consume. So we don't have a good management of the natural resources and they are limited. We have to be really careful with them. And yeah, well, and that's all for my presentation. I hope it can help somebody. Okay, Thank you a lot for your attention.